Hi everybody. I wanted to make a video giving my impressions of Pikeman's Lament, using it for a larger battle. I got my Polish and Ottoman armies out to just to try and play through some of the game with them. And I have to say, I think Pikeman's Lament works just fine for bigger battles. So if you haven't played Pikeman's Lament before, it's kind of designed more for like a skirmish and 28 millimeter, maybe like 30 to 40 figures seems like what they recommend in the rule book. I have much more on the table, so I tried to play through some of a scenario with basically we have a Polish assault on a Ottoman garrison here with kind of dug in musketeers, and then we have a small number of cavalry that have kind of sallied out to protect the garrison, and then to make things a little more interesting, I had an Ottoman kind of relief army coming to meet the garrison, and it's supposed to be somewhere on the steppe, so I didn't put too much terrain. I put kind of these my 28 millimeter hedgerows. I kind of just use them as thick scrub or something like that. That would be harder to move through, but I think overall I found the rules pretty good for a bigger battle. The thing about Pikeman's Lament that makes it interesting is, if one of your units fails an activation, that turn ends. So if you keep having successful activations, you can move all your units, but if you fail one, and then you move on, then chain turns over to the other player. So it can create pretty interesting scenarios. You might have like a good momentum, and then one of your units fails its activation, and then you're kind of done. So I think for that it's good. I wanted to play the rules as written as much as possible, so I did make some modifications where I have the figures with more miniatures than the rules recommend, because it's based on kind of miniature removal. But what I decided I would do was just keep the unit sizes as given in the rule book. So like cavalry is supposed to be 6, so if the unit takes 3 casualties, it's actually at 50% casualties for the purpose of the game, even though there's 12 figures of cavalry in the unit. And I think that's fine, because you could just say that they've taken so many casualties, the rest of the guys would rather just kind of live to fight another day, something like that. The only thing that I think, especially using these rules to wargame this region in the early modern period, is that a lot of the cavalry have like multiple weapons that they used. And so the way Pikeman's Lament divides things up to just, for the purpose of making a game that functions, is, you have gallopers, you have dragoons, and you have and then you have trotters. So gallopers are like shock cavalry. So like my Concerni, I said, okay, they're going to be gallopers, they're close combat cavalry for this game. And then you have the dragoons, which are like basically mounted arquebusiers, and then trotters for like your caracole pistol cavalry. The only thing, and I gotta think about how to game this for, if I'm able to run this kind of convention game eventually, is like how to have rules that fit. And I don't know if I could write my own from the ground up, and I haven't figured out yet how to modify either Pikeman's Lament or Pike and Shot to make it fit better, because like like our Ottoman cavalry. So you know, you have like these guys, the Akinji, that have bows and swords, and they were kind of like fast raiding cavalry. They could shoot, and they could fight with their hand weapons. No, sorry, actually these are Spahi. So these are Spahi just with hand weapons, but like these guys, the Akinji, or I think, no, they're Gunulu, I think. Anyway, but basically light raiding cavalry with hand weapons and bows. I think I need to just create like a bunch of unit templates in either this game or in Pike and Shot to kind of just show, like, you know, you have these soldiers that could basically kind of do it all, but with, you know, varying levels of kind of armor. Like these Timariot Spahi, you know, some of them would be more heavily armored, some of them would be less heavily armored. Like these guys are kind of a mix of, you know, some have armor, some don't. And then like the Polish cavalry, it's kind of the same, because, you know, they've got, some of them have carbines. Not, I don't think these guys. So these are what kind of cavalry are these? Yeah, like these guys, some of them have carbines, and you know, I don't know how to play them where, you know, it would be kind of fit there what they were. So I guess I'm thinking of ideas. I guess I could try the actual fire and sword rules finally, and see how those play. I do have the PDF, or I think you can probably still find it. But yeah, I think for Pikeman's Lament, overall in 15mm, it works just fine. And in fact, if you wanted to play Pikeman's Lament, I think 15mm is a good scale for the game, especially doing these kind of larger engagements. And you know, obviously smaller scale, so you know, it's easier to come up with the space. So yeah, those are my thoughts. I thought about doing a full kind of battle video, but you know, to be honest, those run for way too long, and I don't know if they're worth watching to people to you know, watch like a whole 2-hour, a 1-hour game. Anyway, yeah, that's what my thoughts about playing Pikeman's Lament. Yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll have more to show you from the painting desk soon. All right, talk to you on the next video.